What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It's time to siege the day! Here in the R6 Collegiate League, I am the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, my partner, my co-host, as always, Mr. Whiskey Run. Say hello, Whiskey.
Welcome, everyone, to Collegiate R6, our first foray into the collegiate scene, getting to cast RIT Orange versus Drexel Esport, New York versus Pennsylvania. So looking forward to it, man. What do we got on tap for this match?
Boy, I tell you what, it's a best of three banger. We're going to see Oregon, we're going to see Clubhouse, and should the need arise, we're going to see Chalet. So a couple of classic maps there. And I'm super excited for it. It's Oregon. It's a classic map. We've seen it a million times. Everybody's got a strat ready for old Oregon. So I'm curious, right? We don't get to watch much of the collegiate R6 scene. I'm curious if we're going to see the traditional top floor bunker wars throwdown, or if we're going to see a little bit more of that terse site play. I'm excited to see who the bands are. I mean, this is unknown for us, right? This is let's freaking go, baby.
Definitely a little different than the classic pro that you'd expect, right? I mean, pro is definitely the competitive play that we see in the T2, T3, and Tier 4 scene is different than you see in ranked for sure. And I've got no idea so far how that's going to translate in on the collegiate side. So, all right, man, I think we are ready to go.
Let's do it. It's map number 1, gonna be our first foray into the collegiate R6 scene, and we are getting ready. I expect this to be an absolute banger, right? Expect to see some 2F play, classic bunker war strat as far as band goes. I'd imagine we're probably going to see something along the lines of a Ying Flores band potentially. Definitely want to stop that quick execute, especially from any of the windows up top on 2F, can be absolutely devastating. But like I said, I'm not sure. That'd be my guess, though. If I had to guess, I'd say we'd see a Ying.
Damn, dude, you were on fire to start the night off.
Absolutely huge for that quick execute, which means it's going to be a little bit tougher. Having to use somebody like a Cap Tower, many smokes, and here we go. This feels like a target ban right out the gate. The attacking team is going to ban out Ayana. Huge, right? That's a set of nades gone, Garbanzo, and you see them used everywhere. And she's brought to every single one.
Wow, I think that is our first time we've seen Ayana banned in the casting career. What a first, man! A night of firsts.
Huge. And of course, the Warden band to follow it up. That means they're going to be bringing smokes. They're going to be bringing flashes. It's going to be Util Central. Going to need to be seeing some Wamais and some Jaegers on the board, because I am sure it's going to get hairy.
Projectiles everywhere going in. That's what we're going to see here. A ton of projectiles. All right. So leaving with Warden and Miraband leaves Solus, Valkyrie, Azami on the board, and interestingly enough, we don't see any of them.
Yeah, we talk about the we talk about the 5 golden ringers of defense, the OP operators that are utilized in a menacing way, and that's the Valkyrie, that's the Mira, that's the Azami, the Solus, and Fenrir. Not going to see any for this 2F, but we will see Thorn on the board, recently reworked. What you think about that rework, Mr. Whiskey? Gotta be a fan.
Yeah, huge fan of the Thorn rework. I'm a huge fan of the 1.5 in general, but also of her gun. Love the Uzi. Really glad that it finally got the 1.5 because it really increased the pick rate we saw for her. Her gadget, real fun gadget to be able to use. You talk about it all the time. Sound cues plus the ability to kill people. I mean, that is, you know, huge for the defensive team.
Yep, absolutely agreed. And we said we need to see some Jaeger, we need to see some Wamai. Well, they're both on the board because let's take a look at this attacking team. 6 pieces of flash on the board. Going to see 4 claymores, and of course Buck bringing along those hard breach. Interesting. So we do have, it could potentially be that split push. We do have ducks on the Maverick to see into that attic area. It's going to be Ace on the long breach trying to open up into master bedroom, but opting to stay up top instead of get some of that vertical play going on. Interesting call. We're also going to see the Nomad, and of course, if Thatcher's available, we're bringing them along. Those EMPs just can't be beat. And with that, we're going to see our first foray into combat here. Minute off the board, which is letting those drones do their job, suss out exactly where these defenders are lying in wait. Got to get some Nomad charges down, block off that flank, which is, of course, always a possibility when breaching into attic, because now, of course, they're getting the sound that Maverick is going to be, in fact, coming through.
Maverick really specific about where he wanted to see those charges. I want it right there, bottom stairs, ready to hold the attic.
That's a man who's practiced those before. And yeah, the flank on Oregon is something you know, it's something you love, and it's something that's going to be held off with that Nomad. It is going to be Buck to find the first bit of damage, going to be able to preserve his life, though, as we still sit in a 5-5 scenario here. Going to get some droning into attic, but we're heading into our first minute without seeing any players taken off the board. And here's the flash is going to start ringing out. Going to put them on full white as they push in. Nomad going to be taking that corner shot, and there's the first bit of kill as Ace is going to get taken off the board. Body balance now tipped in favor of RIT, but it's 57 seconds left here. That's going to be the second. Ooh, Thorn, Gonzo, Dillian taken off the board. 4-4 here's 49 seconds. Starting to tick away. Nomad on a low health. It's going to be Wamai the next to be the casualty of war here. It's going to be 4v3, and boy, man, both Buck and Nomad incredibly low health. It's just going to take a bit of a bullet there. Jeez.
He took a full face full from that shotty.
Trades ring across the board, so we now found ourselves in a 2v1, all on the shoulders of KYMYZ. Call him Kim. And the plant's going to start to go down as Thatcher takes it to 75, and it's going to go ahead and stick this bad boy, putting us into a post plant right here on the very first round. Going to have to find one to even up those numbers. Both sitting at full health. Both having the advantage here as the crossfire's set up, and they are just biting little chunks out of this mute as he goes for the swing. Going to try to take it onto, oh man, just a little bit of some ring around the posy siege timing there. Got to have 7 seconds on the board to get that diffuse, but it's going to be Drexel taking round number 1 in a 2v1.
All right, and the team did ask for a rehost, so we are going to pause here.
Well, it wouldn't be live siege if we didn't have a little bit of shenanigans on the live portion of it. So, with that, what you think? I mean, first round out the gate, kind of looked a little bit standard for Oregon play, right? The ops were standard. A mute on that intel deny was great for the breach instead. Yeah, I mean, I guess pretty standard as far as it goes.
I mean, interesting we didn't see the real tough defensive players that you would normally see with Azami. Not seeing her on the board or Valkyrie. Interesting for Oregon, but I mean, it came down to it. They were close. The Maverick play in the attic definitely, that seems to be across the board ranked and competitive all over the place, pushing in there. And the Maverick Nomad combo did a great job pushing in and grabbing one from the Thorn before she was able to make herself, a real problem there. That definitely helped, forcing Mute to hold off that whole side of the map by himself, and he did a pretty good job. Able to grab one with his shotty, but not quite enough to hold off the whole round.
Yeah, shotgun meta in full effect, but at that distance, going to be a little bit tougher. If you're new to Siege or you're new to the last season, Operation Heavy Metal did see a buff to the shotguns. Why don't you tell us about that, Whiskey?
The shotgun meta, right? It's all over Twitter. It's all over in the chat in game. The buff to the non-slug shotgun, so everything except for the Maestro Alibi Shotty and Cade Slug and the Boss G, pretty much everything else. The Super Shorty, the M59, the SAS shotgun, love that thing. All got the buff of wider damage spread in non-ADS and more accuracy when ADS. Uh-oh. All right.
Dang it.
That's it.
Okay, folks. So here's what we do. We're going to get it out of the way. Rehost, done and over with. So sit back. Let's fill those drinks back up to the tippy top. Relax, because when we come back, it's going to be the fun map that is Oregon. Heyo!
Let's go.
What's up and welcome back, folks. Rehost done data. We are getting back into it. It is going to be round number 2. If you're just joining us, Drexel takes it in a pretty standard push on 2F. With that, it's going to be second verse, same as the first. We're headed right back, baby. Going to try that one again as RIT thinks they've got a better way to play it. And already out the gate, going to see a different trap op. Instead of Thorn, you can be seeing a Frost on the board.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
I like the call. No. Oh, yeah. Going to stick with the mute for the breach denial. Going to stop that intel as well. And it looks like Drexel Esports liked what they did on the first one. Obviously, they won it, so we're going to try it again. Could be second verse, same as first. We're just run it back, as they say.
Yeah. Not even, they didn't change anybody, right? Or they're playing the same ops on top of it, right? We didn't even see a change in who is playing which op at this point.
Well, you know, there's the classic phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That sounded real professional. All right, here we go. Prep phase gone and over. We're going to see a little bit of this drone work as this attack team starts to try to figure out where the heck these defenders are playing. And it looks like we're going to stay mostly grouped together. Everybody ready for that frag central, frag city. The refrag ability. It is already. Ace took a little bit of damage here. So he puts himself down to 3/4 health. Right at the gate. Able to preserve his life to fight again. Watching for the swing here.
Yeah, we don't want to lose Thatcher early. He's got a lot of utility he needs to get in.
Man, and look at the distance on that too. Doesn't even need to get it really in there.
Well, and
taking out some of those Jaegers. Go ahead.
Oh, how did he get the through the wall? And they need Thatcher to try and cover it. Nice.
Oh, huge play. There's body bounce tipped in favor of RIT here. Thatcher is the first one to get taken off the board. And Helmet got a little bit of an angle there on Master. Knows that he's going to be seeing some swings there, but is not ready for it.
Him.
Just rings out and destroys him. RIT now up huge. Actually gets a little bit closer, but finding the headshot onto kicks up as well. Now taking us into a 4v3 scenario. 3v3 as the trade happens again. Buck able to find himself 2 now. Huge.
That was a great positioning there by Thatcher, right? They had the defensive team had a ton of utility set up in the small closet on main breach, with mute jammer plus 2 Jaegers ready to catch any of those any of the ace charges or any other utility coming in. But the Thatcher completely negated all of it, so they were able to manage that really quickly and put themselves up here in a 3v2.
That's right. Nomad taken off the board. Ross is able to find that kill. 58 seconds left. It is in the favor of the defense, as we say. Time waits for no man, and that is especially true here. As the last 50 seconds going to start to tick away. It's going to be the long rotate by Maverick. Trying to get a little bit of a sound cue, maybe a little bit of a distraction, maybe somebody to push unnecessarily. Add to the body count, and there it is. There's that
through the floor.
Put him in that 2v2 situation now with 30 seconds left to go, and it's going to be Maverick taking the scenic route, going to rotate up to the window, try to get a bead on this Jaeger who's still holding those back stairs. No, not going to go up top. It is going to be the kill there.
Oh no, through the same hole that Smoke got killed through. The defense dishes it back.
10 seconds left.
Let's go. 9 seconds left, and this one is all but written up here. He's got to find 2, and 1 just got to hang back. And instead, he's going to lose his life as Frost's going to claim that final headshot in the top of white. We're going to even up that scoreline. Hey, I say this is a good move towards that war of attrition that we're always asking for. 1 apiece. It has been the pattern that we have been seeing 3-3 score lines. Almost doesn't matter what competitive rank that we're playing at, from T4 to T2. 3-3 seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, I think especially here, we are in a best of 3, right? So we're going to see 3 maps tonight. Oregon, Club, and then if required, we'll get a chance to go see Chalet, which I'm super excited about. But these teams have a lot of opportunity here to figure out how the other team is going to play. How are they going to push? There's no need to be crazy, but there is a need to be good at the game, which these guys are, and they are definitely showing it so far.
Yep, agreed. We head down to the bunker wars for the first part of this half. And on the defense, going to see a few of switch-ups. We are going to see the works on the board. Fastest man in the game of Siege, able to traverse vertically and horizontally quicker than anybody else on the board. And Azami, the architect. Huge because she's generally banned out, got a 68% ban rating. And the reason is she can change the entire landscape. Every cheeky peeky angle you knew, every pre-fire that you normally take is negated when the architect is on the board. Bulletproof has to be exploded. If she lives for more than half the round, she's going to deploy all of those key barriers, get some real trench warfare going. Right out the gate here, we're going to see Ace here, Breach getting set up and ready to open up some of those long bomb areas. It's a little bit of a jiggle peek down towards pillar. Not going to come up with anything. However, he is holding a long angle, ready to catch somebody slipping or sleeping. On the attacking side of it, let's talk about it. Got a little bit of that roam suss out, as we do have Dokkaebi on the board, and Dux. If Flores is available for the basement push, he will be utilized. Why? Because he's so great at getting rid of all of that extension util, especially generally being those deployables here in elbow, which we don't have. We're going to see a triple Jaeger set up instead. Really not wanting to get flashed out, as we have 3, 6, 9, 12 flashes on the board. Whiskey. Yowza.
No
It's
way.
going to be Hibana to find the first kill as she takes Azami off the board. Not going to be able to utilize all of those Kiva barriers. Body bounce tipped in favor of Drexel here.
Yeah, Smoke feeling very secure there in elbow with all three of the Jaegers there, making sure that he's got the opportunity to hold that. But unfortunately, a lot of the action happening not on elbow to start with. Only now we're seeing one of the offensive players rotating back, and he's going to abandon all the utility and barricade himself up, close off elbow to start. That's going to leave them, the attacking team, a lot of opportunity to push into barrels in blue.
Yep, I like the late round barricade. Ooh, there we go. Orcs off the board as the trade does ring out onto Dokkaebi as well. Now find ourselves in a 4v3 with a minute left on the board. Still got to get some of that vertical hold up, and Hibana, the Hatch Queen, going to start to go to work on that. I love the late round barricade, right? Forces them, forces them to push through a couple of key areas. Really limits where you can get surprised from. Good call. We're going to start to see some of those smoke canisters going now. He's still got 2 left on the board. Plenty of time to really dictate where the push can potentially even come from. 30 seconds. Put those last 2 out, and you've all but sealed up your round here. It's going to be Buck holding onto the pillar. A little bit of siege timing there, as he's not going to be able to find that kill right away. Frost taking the first headshot, but is going to get traded out as Buck finds one. It is now down into a 1v3. Ness, the last one alive, does take one. Now put himself back into the closet. 13 seconds left. Plenty of room for the crossfire to be set up.
Is that enough?
And plant to
Is
go
it gonna?
down.
It got him! It got him!
He didn't get the plant! Huge big brain IQ play by Smoke, holding on for that late round. Oh, what a clutch by the defense in that 1v2 scenario. Oh, you love to see it. This is college esports, huh? It's already freaking exciting. Sheesh. Well, that was very exciting. We're actually going to head to a turf site here. As the first round of rotations is over and done with. It's going to be meeting kitchen. Potentially, once they find out where exactly this site is going to, might see the OSA get brought on the board. Pretty standard for a meeting hall hold to bring an OSA, put that talent shield right at the stage breach, and one potentially up into attic and tower to hold both the flank, and of course get set up for that plant. Gonna be a little bit tough because we see some new faces on the board. Tachanka, the Lord himself, being brought out to start cooking. A little bit of that mobile intel with Mozzie. We are gonna see Frost being brought back, but it's gonna be brought back by Kim instead of Dillian. And of course, we'll mine for that projectile line. But here we go. Legion, my friend, reworked in this last Operation Heavy Metal season. Tell us a little bit about that buff, Mr. Run.
Legion getting to see the buff. I know there was, some debate early on. I think we've got that settled at this point. The Legion mine definitely buffed there with the ability for stackable damage and the ability to hit multiple of them. When you see them, 4 of them stacked on top of each other, really makes a huge difference there. Can devastate the defense or the attackers when they hit those 4 mines in a row. But they are visible. But when you're scoped in, when you're ADS, you're not seeing frost mats, and you might not be seeing those little Legion mines either.
Yep, definitely huge. And now, of course, brings that side piece, the shotgun. Doesn't have to waste the impacts on making rotates. Does opt for the BP instead in a game of intel and inches, I like to call it. Is going to be Frost again finding that opening kill. Oh, Lord, sends a grenade up. Doesn't find anything on it, unfortunately. Not holding down into that sandbag area. Buck off the board. Huge for the vertical, but they still do have some huge vertical on the board. New operator seen with the release of Operation Heavy Metal. It's Ram. That thing got a Hemi, baby. The Boogie Woogie able to just munch up immense amounts of soft breach floor. Ooh, unfortunately, we're not going to see
her
that,
name.
Caster Curse right off the board. Sorry about that. OSD is not going to be able to utilize that Boogie Woogie anytime soon.
Oh, this angle from Sledge. Are we going to see up through a partially destroyed hatch?
Not going to find any damage on that, however, as we do have body bounce tipped pretty heavily in favor of RIT. They sit now with ace down, and he is going to get confirmed. Frost on a 3-piece now, I believe, right? 3 in a row, looking to kind of secure some ace. Gonna have to fight this Sledge on the back. No grenades to, however, do it. That's going to be Nomad going down. It's not going to be ace potential here, as Legion's going to find that kill. Taking us now down into a 1v5. Got to be perfect for the ace here for Sledge. Only 40 seconds left to do it. They're going to have to throw bodies to lose this round.
Yeah, well, and Legion was gonna push it through the mine, heard it go off, and unfortunately the Prox gives his location away. Sledge had a tough call in a 1v5 with all of the defenders spread out and them knowing exactly where he was.
It's just a great hold. We talk about adaptability being the thing that has to happen in these best of threes. And that's one of them, right? We saw in the very beginning of the rotate, 2-2F takes. Yes, they got a win. They also got a loss. So instead of opting to go back up there straight away, we see a turf site play, and it did just the right amount to throw off that attacking team. Really set the pace for how this round is going to be played, and RIT comes up again. Now putting themselves 3-1. So we head into round 5. A little bit of 2F here. Gonna opt for more of that intel, keeping the Mozzie on the board. I really like that call. Like we said, it's a game of intel and inches, and you have to have the intel to take the inches. Mozzie's really great with that, able to move those around depending on where the push is potentially coming from. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a Solus. Where's the Fenrir? Bring out the bad boys. They're the top 5 of the D, and we haven't seen them played at even a little bit.
True. That is interesting that they're opting to stick with that play strategy, which feels almost a little dated at this point. But, I mean, at this point, RIT is winning, is taken on this match 3-1 so far. So it's not like they're really struggling at this point. They're potentially reading the offense. Again, even though it's our first foray into the collegiate scene, these guys have been playing each other for a while, so it's possible that they've got a little bit of intel into how the other team plays that's making that choice a little easier.
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe not dated. Let's call it traditional, baby. On the attacking side of it, we are going to see Brava being brought onto the board. I love the Brava call. And with the Mozzie, it's huge. Taking the Jaegers, potentially the default cam. And mute jammers. Fun thing that we found out. If a Brava takes a mute jammer and you're in a post or pre or post plant scenario and that C4 comes out to destroy you, well, that mute jammer will not allow that to happen. Could be huge, the Brava. Also, Capital being brought on the board. A little bit of fire, a little bit of smoke, kind of try to chase those out from holding that bunk area. in the corner. It's a popular area for the defense to hold, a pivotal push point, if you will.
That was close. Mute needing to reposition himself there. He was in the line of fire from Buck, but heard him go off in Armory. They got Armory control at this point.
It's a little bit more contemporary of a take here. So we've been seeing quite a bit. Oh, Buck taking a bunch of damage. Mozzie also taking some in that little exchange. Nobody losing their life, however, as they're both able to WASD their way out to some safety. But holding those breaches open as opposed to sealing them completely off. I like the call. They are going to get the BP here. Well, no, they're not.
No,
actually,
she
as
was
the Bloodstone's
trying.
gonna get taken out.
That was her second trying to grab the BP there in Attic. Unfortunately, Frost is going to hold it.
It's going to be Thermite, the first to lose his life. His body bounce tips yet again into RIT's favor off the entry. No refrag, unfortunate. Boy, that frost mat right there, I see people hit that all the freaking time. Oh, my lord, P10 rings out. It's going to be the Jaeger finding a kill as well, as now we put ourselves into a pretty desperate 5v2. Not saying it's not unwinnable, but it is going to be a tough call. Does come in through the smoke, but they are ready. Now into a 5v1, 36 seconds left on the board. All but written up here, as he is on really, really low health.
And when you said they, you really meant Frost, because that Frost man grabbed the kill. Perfect timing again. Great play by Smoke there at the end. Who needs purple smoke when you got yellow smoke?
That's the truth. Yellow will stop you in your tracks. And it did. And here we go. So we are seeing the timeout, and I love the call here, right? It's something we talk about all the time. You see the timeouts used just like you would in any other sport that's out there. It's used to stop and talk about it for a second, kind of find out where your flaws have been. It's also to kind of talk about what the enemy team has got going on, and really, it's trying to ice out the other side, stop a little bit of that momentum that's going on, which RIT has seemed to found here. It is 1 round left in the half. Drexel did take their first one, right? They've hit quota. If you go into a split on a 5-1 going into your defense, you got to feel okay about that. 4-2, however, the standard split would definitely be something a little more along the lines of what you're feeling comfortable with, especially on defensive Oregon.
The one thing I'll throw in, though, as we're sitting here, for those of you just joining us, and again, we appreciate everybody joining the Siege Double Shot tonight for this CR6 fantastic match. But the thing I was going to say is that first round that Drexel won, we ended up having a rehost after it because at least one of the RIT players had a sound bug and couldn't hear. So there's potential that RIT may have been closer to winning that match than we really expected. So it's a real possibility here that Drexel could have been down 5-0 to start, but got lucky with the sound bug. So a little hard to tell at this point, but what it means is Drexel is going to have to fight even harder at this point to make sure that they end this half 5-2 to get started in their defensive half.
Yeah, absolutely.
4-2.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
We said it since the beginning. Whiskey might have been involved here. We do love couch casting, a little sipping and sieging, and I think we're official, Whiskey. There's some copy pasta in the chat. We did it. We made it. We are R6 Elite. I love copy pastas. They're one of my favorite parts of the game. All right, let's talk about it. 1 round left here in the half. And seeing a bit of a lineup switch here. We are going to see Ducks going on to the Jackal. Try to suss out, as opposed to the Dokkaebi, suss out where the heck those roamers are at, especially for this Bunker Wars classic setup here. Love the free cam. Let's go. First 30 seconds off the board. It is Flores taking a look inside of Elbow. Going to try to flush out the smoke that is sitting there. Ace again back in his spot, opening up those breaches, opening up the head holes. And, of course, we are also going to see Italian Mafia putting themselves on the Zofia. I like to call plenty for that soft breach. Open up some of those walls. Maybe send a little bit of disorientation in there. It's the same similar setup we saw on the defense last time, except for, I believe, the Thorn instead of Frost. Ooh!
The Jackal pinged out Oryx. They knew exactly where he was, and he is able to dash in front of the hole in Attic and survive. He's grabbed one already, so he's wasting time in Big Tower here. Is he going to be able to get another before they get him?
It's going to be the swing from above. He does find another. Go crazy, Oryx. Holy cow, he is playing life here, and he is going to get downed eventually, but at an incredibly heavy cost on the double. Now taking us into 4v2 scenario, as Ace was recently the last casualty of war here as well. So that's no breach. You're going to have to, and I mean, geez, Jackal all the way up top. Still got a minute and 20, but I mean, that is one of the best parts about having an Oryx that's able to be quite effective at his roam game, because now they have to check every single floor. They got to check every single room because Oryx is going to be lurking there. Jackal's still doing his best here as he's trying to make sure he's not going to get dropped while dropping.
Well, and unfortunately, they got Hibana as part of that exchange, so the hatches are closed. She definitely did not get the meeting hatch open. I'm not sure if she grabbed one of the others before she got taken down, but Jaeger was able to run up the back stairs there and grab one more kill before he eventually died. So huge exchange in Big Tower there. That was a great play on the defensive part.
Yep, 30 seconds left on the board. Gonna have to see something pretty huge here, but it is gonna be Floors the next to fall, and we're looking at a 5-1 half here, although Zombie does fall, getting a little bit closer on that body bounce. It's gonna be the long rotate here, the scenic route, if you will, as Jackal makes his way down into a bunker wars. You've seen this situation before, does find another.
He grabbed the quad!
On the quad! 7 seconds left, and he's just gotta find one left, but the Alien is ready and set up. I tell you what, break out the barbecue sauce for that 4-piece, but you're eating it cold because you couldn't clutch up on the ace, my friend. Huge round by Jackal. Great effort as he pushed in there, getting the 4-piece. Just not enough, and RIT is going to take 5-1 on the half. It's the roll swap. Boy, that was exciting.
So close, man. A 4K to finish that round off. And you know what? If Ace had gotten that wall open a little bit more, maybe been able to rotate through, he could have even had a shot at grabbing that, a real shot at grabbing that 5th. That was exciting, like you said it, man. Let's go.
Boy, look at the score lines here. 5-1. RIT coming up pretty huge here, but not without some combined effort, right? We've got Dillian on the 7-1. Man is having a great game inside of as many rounds. 5-2, 5-4, 5-3. Lots of kills being spread out across the board for RIT. On the now defensive side of it, we are going to see Solus, but boy, Yu's just having a tough game. 0-5, not able to buy himself a kill in the first half of map number 1. I was hoping to see a little bit of difference here as he does bring out the mute. It's the shoddy meta. It's that for a reason. It's devastating. It's long distance. It's a good night in the hands of the right person. Gonna opt for some breach denial in the form of Cade, bringing out that sniper shoddy as well, and Ella for that distraction. Boy, I love to see the Solus call here. Gonna try to see if OSD can get a little active. If you're new to Siege or you're new to the last couple of seasons, Whiskey, tell us why Solus is so OP.
Oh, her gadget and ability, I mean, bringing along the P90 as her gun, not a bad place to start, but her gadget, its ability to detect any of the electronic gadgets that the attacking team is bringing. That includes drones, but also any of their electronic personal gadgets. Like, when you see, we saw in the last round, Jackal running around with his gadget on. Solus is able to detect that while it's running the whole time, like a constant ping. Not only that, but IQ, able to detect IQ's gadget. They're able to detect each other, making that a bit of a battle there. That's pretty fun to watch. And it's able to see across the map and hard ping for the rest of her team if she needs to.
Already seen a ton of intel being fed by the Solus. It's going to wrap around to potentially that kitchen dining hold. See if they can find anybody. Did see the drone coming out. Did see where it's coming from. We are seeing the Maverick on the board for RIT. Already making their way in. A little bit of difference in the Mav style between the two teams. We saw Drexel go with the classic circle. We saw RIT trying for a square. There we go. It was square-like.
It was.
Gives itself a good hole there to start pushing into that back area. Minute 10 left on the board.
Ooh, and nice use of the observation blocker there by the defending team, not able to see through and see whether or not someone was actually holding that angle. Of course, she heard Cade's shotty, so knows for sure, and is able to grab one. Nice Nomad.
Yep, huge play as you take the hard breach off the board. Gonna find themselves second. Jaeger goes down. Oh my lord, and it is just falling apart here for this defense as now they put themselves into a 4v1. RIT overwhelming 2F here with 38 seconds left on the board, but the SMG-11 gonna find one. That's OSD coming alive, but the L85 gonna clean that one up.
Dicey. Grabbing the round ender. Diffuser just chilling on the floor because they didn't need it.
Yeah, they didn't even want it. I don't even want the diffuser. We're just going to go in and click heads. That's a good strat. It's a pro strat.
Here we are. Number one of the night. Match point. RIT Orange up 6-1 over Drexel. Drexel needs to, right now, I think maybe, well, they can't take their time out because we saw that earlier.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
Maybe get a little aggressive. We haven't seen a lot of real aggressive play, a lot of kills happen in the first 30 seconds. Maybe it's time for them to try and surprise this attacking team a bit by trying to increase their level of aggressiveness.
I like it, and especially when we head down to the bunker wars. First look for Drexel down here in the basement. Gonna bring some similar ops. 2 on the projectile tonight with Jaeger and Wilmai. We're gonna see Cade for those hatches. At least one of them to stop that verticality that is so important for pushing into, well, any side below you. And, of course, Ella on that disorientation could be huge, especially when trying to hold down that bunker. They are going to opt for a shield on elbow, but it's a strange one. It's a strange shield. No pixel peek at all. Usually you see that about 3 or 4 feet back. Giving yourself that pixel hold there.
Oh, and having to use Cade's, they ended up using, yeesh, his C4 to make the rotate.
It's an interesting call. You don't want to burn utility like that if you don't have to, but with the op lineup that you brought to the table, well, sometimes it's just necessary. So it's going to be no explosion kills on the side of Drexel. Match point here. RIT trying to put map number 1 away. They got a fun lineup to do so. Ash going to be on that early entry. Of course, we're having Thatcher. Kicks up, finding the first one. I feel like that was my fault. I'm so sorry, Drexel. Duck's taken off board as the entry comes in right as she is called. Jackal to help suss out where any of that roam game potentially is at. It's going to be those EMPs to open up hatch. Now vertical play going to start to be a factor here. Dicey going to be looking down the back, and look at this. Just within the first minute and a half here, all of these players are getting set up across the board to get that ultimate collapse, possibly pretty close at the same time. Well, am I going to take some damage here from Freezer? This kick up is going to come around the corner and get a little bit of reload on. Suss out exactly what's going on. I don't know if he knows Italian Mafia sitting here on box.
I don't think so. Definitely focused on the fight across into laundry.
Ooh, and that's going to be tough as 2 go down, Inhalement and OSD. Down but not out for Cade yet, but it's going to be quick. It's going to be a tough one to get him picked up. And it's going to be the push. Going to see if he can find some. It is Thatcher to take a little bit of damage, but not enough. It is Thorn finds one more, but it's going to be overwhelmed as they start to rush into sight. Got the double and said, all forces moving! And they did it exceptionally well. That was a masterclass of organ play. Just going to be real honest here. RIT really came in and just showed us exactly how you play organ. It was a bit of a traditional take, as we talked about earlier. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Decisive win, 7-1 in the favor of RIT. What you think, Wixkeep?
Yeah, taking every match, every round after the rehost. We had a rehost for a Soundbug right after that first round, and really just coming together as a team and picking the Drexel team apart. But that was Oregon, and we are on a best of 3. So we're going to take a minute here and set up the lobby for Clubhouse as map 2.
Yeah, so here's what question will be answered next. Is RIT the dominant team, or is Oregon an RIT map? Gonna find out when we come back. It's Clubhouse, and should we get to a decider, gonna end it on Chalet. Sit back, relax, folks. Fill your drinks up to the tippy top, because we're getting active when we come back. So
Let's go.
What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. I am still the Reverend Whiskey Glitter. This is still my partner, my co-host, Mr. Whiskey Run. Why don't you say hello, Whiskey?
Welcome everyone to Map 2, taking us to Clubhouse. And this is a map we get to see a lot. Definitely, I think, played a lot on the professional and comp circuit because, you know, like Oregon, pretty close to a 50-50, and we see the teams have a lot of strats that they enjoy for this map. Everybody plays it really well, so it ends up being more of a battle of the team and the skill of that team putting together an attack rather than something where you're dealing with a map that you don't like or that's heavily one-sided. It's 50-50. Both teams have got a shot to win it here, but Buck going off the board in what feels like a bit of a target ban.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not a regular call for Clubhouse that we generally see, but you understand, right? That skeleton key just so vital for making some of that verticality, especially when you're holding down on that church arsenal. Hold Dokkaebi, obviously DMR, huge in the hands of the right person. Ask Onigiri, setting the world record at SI for most kills, 27 by the way, on the back of that DMR. We are going to see Cade, so hatches are going to be free. No potential electrocution, unless I guess you do it from the top, which would be funny but ineffective. And Warden again going to be off the board, so look to see some of those flashes making their way back in to play here. I mean, I think we saw the most we've seen here as 12 of them were used in one of the last rounds. I really love that.
that one was crazy to see.
So with map number 2, if you're just joining us, where the heck have you been, man? It's the Whiskey Boys taking on the Collegiate R6 scene. You're getting to watch RIT versus Drexel. And RIT had a very dominant performance on map number 1. It was Oregon, taking that 7-1, completely 7 unanswered round wins. Huge. So we're going to see Drexel coming on to defense first here, map 2, and let's see who to bring it to the table. A couple of those golden ringers that we've been talking about. Azami on the board. Classic to see her hold up into that catwalk. See Jaeger to get some of those ADSs down to help support her so she isn't taken out by any, Capitaos or nades that are brought to the table. Two sets of nades, by the way, as Ayana is in play. We might be seeing why that got banned out.
Yeah, Ayana banned in the first map. That was interesting to see. So if you're just joining us here, you didn't get a chance to see that. Interesting, definitely an interesting ban pick for sure. And it looks like we got bandit tricking here going on. Ace looking hard and waiting. Is there going to be somebody on highway on the other side? Or no, they're going to opt for the Thatcher.
Oh man, and also look at that, it's the bandit trick starting to go. C4 does go out, not going to take anybody, it's falling off instead. Usually you try to see that rappel get taken out, but it's a little bit too far. We also are seeing the Fenrir on the board. I love a Fenrir call. Whiskey, tell us about Fenrir as we get this last 2 minutes going.
Fenrir, definitely good to see him out here as well. Bringing 5 of his Dreadnought Mine gadgets to the board, and they're those little highlighted blue icons you see on the screen. He's able to have 3 of them active at a time, and you heard that one go off. They release a fear gas that the attacking team can't see through.
Jeez, man, making quick work of this defense here is both Wamai and Fenrir already taken off the board. Body bounce tipped pretty heavily in favor here. RIT is last minute 26 starting to... Oh, yeah! Does take a little bit of damage, but it's going to be Jaeger to find those kills, the double to even up that body balance now as well. I thought Bandit took that, but it sure looked like it.
No, Jaeger, I think, wrapped around the corner, but they're going to grab him out of Logi, so now the attacking team down to 1.
Jeez, classic 2v1 scenario here, all resting on the shoulders of Dicey. If somebody could get it done, it is Dicey. We see him go a little bit crazy on that last map. Got to find 1 to equalize, 2 to win it out. 51 seconds left on the board. Still has another nade in hand. Good. Oh, yow! L85 claiming the life of Jaeger now as we've, of the Bandit. as we now find ourselves in a classic showdown, a 1v1. And it's going to be the grenade bouncing off, not going to find anything there. Does reveal that he's still sitting in construction. It's going to be the swing here. A little bit of damage done to Dicey. 29 seconds to find himself that kill. Ooh, Impact trying to finish the job here. A little bit of Pokeball on the rotate. Ducks coming up on the clean shot from Red. It's going to win that round for the defense as Drexel finds their first win again.
Yeah, finding the first of the match again. So let's see whether or not it's going to be a different story on here, Clubhouse. My guess is yes. That was a more well-rounded attack. Good construction push to finish off the RIT Orange. It got close at the end, but they were able to hold it together. And yes, Lily, I'm loving Yellowstone tonight.
It's my favorite. It means we're a legitimate channel. The copy pastas. They're so creative and they're so fun. I applaud you all. Please keep them coming. I love the variety. All right, that's round 1 to Drexel here as they start out similarly to the last map. Let's see if it's going to be a bit of a change. It looked like RIT was coming in pretty hot and heavy, but the bunker down defense, as soon as the kills started to happen, allowed for the trade out. Drexel to come out on top of that one. We're going to see the Church and Arsenal. I love Church Arsenal hold. I love who we're seeing brought out for it as well. It's going to be the Intel as Duck puts himself onto the Valkyrie. A little bit of Legion for that Intel, and Mira going to be on the board. If she's available, you're going to see her, especially if we get onto that Church Arsenal, especially if we get onto that gym bedroom site. Almost going to be completely necessary. On the side of the attackers, that thing got a Hemi. Dicey bringing out the Ram and that Boogie Woogie. Start open up potentially vertical. It's definitely used for that sound as well. You'll see that Boogie Woogie start to open up the main hall. 2 sides into kitchen as well.
This site in particular, I think, is one of the best we've seen so far for her to use that gadget, because all of the breachable floor and kitchen that is directly over the armory, plus the hallway. Normally you're seeing Buck and Sledge take care of that, but with Buck being off the board, it's all down to Sledge. So in this case, all you've got is the Boogie.
Did that not take out some of the floor?
Interesting. It's like it didn't go through the second layer. Glitched?
Oh no! Now that is unfortunate. It's going to be Ness getting taken off the board with the C4, and it looks like we're seeing some glitch here as the Ram is not eating up the floors it's supposed to. It's going to be kicks up to be taken out as well as the Vector rings out. Kim going to find a kill, get a little bit closer on that body balance, and there it goes. Gets evened up. Here's the 3-3s. We're going to have to start to see a bit of a different push here. A little bit of the verticality as Dicey's still holding, but oh. Well, my Gonzo Garbanzo, that's a tough kill as the DMR does ring out there. And
I don't
think... going to start going down. Oh.
Valkyrie from above. Ducks having a tremendous game. 3-0 so far to start this half off. But the thing about this is we saw Ram try and shoot it. Wait, what?
What?
I thought Valkyrie grabbed that one.
Kim! Who are you? KYM, huge double to clutch up that round for RIT. Found himself in a 1vx, but was not afraid. Stepped forward in bravery, found the double, and won it out. Huge plays. Huge plays.
Boy, interesting there. We're going to have to see. We saw Ram, the gadget, not take out the second layer of the floor. The bottom half just was still there, but she also pulled out her shoddy and tried to shoot the floor, and it didn't disappear either. Almost like the ceiling of Armory was bugged. If that's the case, well, that almost seems like some sort of an exploit that Ubisoft is going to have to address here pretty quickly.
Yeah, no kidding. That was absolutely huge. Somebody clip that and send it to Ubi. We found one! So, we had to get our workout on here since gym and bedroom now. Ooh, look at this. Interesting hold as they're going to be watching Highway from inside of Logi. So, a bit of an extension here. We're going to see Castle on the board. Pretty standard for a gym bedroom hold. I love seeing it put onto the gym door. You hit it 8 times, you got yourself a 1-off. He's not going to do that, though. He's going to leave it completely set up and Jeez, yeah, that was crazy. Frost on the board. It's going to be Bandit for the breach now, and a little bit of the long gun as you brings out a Rooney. Some of that slowed down city on the side of the attackers. Headed back to some nade use as both Sledge and Iana are on the board. You see double on the hard breach, which means we're going to be looking at a bit of a split here.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I think.
Interesting. They don't have none of the impact EMP, so for getting the hard breach off the wall, dealing with the bandit traps, gonna have to do it with nades, which they did.
Yep, Bandit taken off the board. His body bounce tipped in favor of RIT. Now there's going to be no Bandit tricking. Castle coming around on the swing. Ducks getting a little silly here as he finds himself the kill on the highway. Now going to be holding that angle onto Hot Tub. Hoping to find Thermite slipping. Put him sleeping. A little bit of trolling in the chat. Should have told them how to turn their monitors on. Sitting 4-4 is the last minute and 30. Oh my lord. Yowza Frost. Way down deep. What are you doing in the basement?
Yes.
Huge pig. Completely unexpected. That's Dicey down and off the board now. His body bounce tips back into favor of Drexel. It's going to be Dillian now down as well. Zofia potentially retrievable, but it's going to be a tough spot, especially being so far out. Still got the 2 hard breach on the board. Nest holding tight on the angle for main stair there. We got main stair, back stair, the stair.
You know what? There's stairs in Siege, and you know what Pengu says about stairs is they're the worst way to change between floors. But when you gotta go upstairs, you know, sometimes that's a tough place to be. Is Frost gonna grab one? No, Dux is able to get it. Castle.
Wow. Now all up to the Zofia. It's a 1v4 low health scenario. And it's going to be too little too late. DMR is going to rip the body apart one piece at a time. And that's going to be another defensive win here.
Wow, okay. All right. 1, 2. Back and forth now. So definitely Drexel looking like more the competition that RIT maybe was expecting, maybe not, but certainly more the back and forth match we wanted to bring you on this this CR6 night.
Ooh, Shy Jackal with a hot take there in the chat. EU's better than NA. Well, I tell you what, if you like the Whiskey Boys, you can find us on both, as we've got some big EU casts coming up. Talent League, Vivid, Vibrant, and Revival. So you'll be able to see some Whiskey Boys doing a little bit of both for you, Mr. Shy Jackal, or Mrs. Shy Jackal. All right, Drexel up by 1 here as we head into 4. We're going to see a little bit of a change to the defense here. Duck's going to pull out the Azami here, potentially for that catwalk hold, and there she is. There's the Azami setting it up as we speak. Only has the Wamai, however, so it's not going to be some early Wamai uses towards that catwalk, so potentially going to be able to frag that out, should they so choose to do. Dicey putting himself back on the ram. I like the call, even with a little bit of that glitch that was going down. And Italian Mafia playing out the Pulse. Now there's a call I love. The bandit tricking going on.
Interesting.
Not
They
gonna get breached.
yeah, almost change up the strategy a bit. Gonna try pushing through the construction side.
Interesting call. So now got the drop from Logi. It's going to be 3 of them at least taken from this backside area. Ooh, that's a cheeky little angle. Oh, and here we go. Tons of intel being fed by Pulse, so nobody going to be caught unaware from this backside push, however. Not going to find any kills through the floor. Going to give his location away. They now know they got to deal with somebody underneath. And it's going to be OSD getting the first casualty on the side of Drexel, giving body bounce tipped in favor of RIT. Early in the round. 140 left on the board. Ooh, a second to fall as the L85 rings and sings, and the head it claims. Ayana going to be the next to fall here as Hibana does get, or Hibana, as Azami does get a little bit of the keep the barrier onto the windows, trying to stop this jiggle peek from the Thatcher, who's holding the long angles. Ooh, and the long angle also from Dicey from Logi, getting ready to catch somebody. So it is a full backside take here. It is a 4v3, so the body balance is tipped in favor of the attacking team. Just got to find potentially one more here. Now look, Zofia still knows that they've got somebody sitting on the red, ready to take that gunfight. So they did end up getting the main breach open, at least by the headshot. There we go.
They did not know Zofia was there. Oh.
Yeah. That's tough, and now puts us into a 1v4, getting themselves ready for the plant. It does start to go down, but it's going to be RIT with the headshot onto the pulse to claim that round.
That, some clutch up work there from Zofia, able to grab 2 there, not knowing that she was hiding just outside the main breach there. Great work from her, able to grab top red and the pulse that was rotating back through rafters.
Huge round for RIT as they're able to come up and close those numbers a little bit here. This is the big deal, right? Drexel on defense. Clubhouse still arguably a defensive-sided map. We do see more defensive than attacker-sided wins. So RIT has already found their quota for being on the attacking side of it. Should they get any more, it's icing on the cake heading into their defensive round. And you don't want that on the second map where you're going to potentially be done with the series here. Drexel really needs to come alive and take these next 2 before the switch happens.
Yeah, they sure do.
With that, we're going to see that Church Arsenal hold again, the dreaded basement. Nobody likes to push there. Going to see the Ram being brought back out. Gonna be tried again. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it going. Thank you so much, you guys, for the love in the chat. We absolutely love having you guys here. It's a blast to be able to do what we do almost on the daily now, and it's a blast to be able to do it with you guys. Greatest fans in the entire R6 scene, and we have them in our very own chat. Super happy to have you guys. Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Let's go, baby. It's getting started, getting active. 30 seconds already off the board, and we're starting to see the push into kitchen. They are not going to have, of course, Cade being banned out. It's going to be able to take this hatch for free. Let's see if the Ram going to be able to power through these floors this time, because that was a bit tough.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see whether or not it was a single round gig or... Yes. Floor is fully open this time. Oh, and Legion almost pays for it.
He does pay for it as he gets taken off the board. OSD, Gonzo Garbanzo, now putting body bounce back in favor of RIT. Sitting at a 5-4 with the first minute off the board. A little bit of a glitch there, and if you're seeing that, they can see through that mirror still. We just, however, on the observation side, cannot. It's going to be the next to fall. That's your fires, that's your smokes. Gonzo Garbanzo. We get tied up.
Valkyrie on the huge rotate upstairs, playing in Logi. They've got the hole in the floor. Oh my word. No, she missed the shot. Ducks, unfortunately. Oh.
Not usual for the gameplay here for him, as he does sit at that 5 or 6 and 2. Plant's going to start going down as we're now sitting in a 4v2 scenario. 1 minute still left on the board. Not wasting any more time, but they are going to get the plant down, but Dicey's going to pay for the hubris as he gets taken off the board. Now put into a 2v2, and all of a sudden this is looking winnable until it's not. Attacking team finishes off the last 2 in a pretty rapid succession, giving RIT score advantage.
That was another interesting visual glitch there. We got a chance to see the whole dirt tunnel basically entirely open to the external world. Again, the players can't see that. That's a bit of an observation bug. But first time I've seen that so far. So that is new with the Year 8 Season 3.2 patch.
Skishu. Now that's funny. I'm writing that one down. Thank you for that one. If you hear me say it, that's because of you. I appreciate you. All right, back up to gym bedroom here as we find ourselves on the last round of the half. Going to be putting themselves potentially at a 4-2 split on the attacker side. Not something you want to see if you're Drexel. At least get yourself to that even up scoreline. B. You do not want to go being down with RIT going on their defense. They definitely had a really aggressive approach, even though it's a bit more traditional than we've been seeing lately. It worked phenomenally well and took them to a 7-1 on map number 1. So we got to see Drexel come alive, and I believe that they can do it, especially with the lineup that they brought. We've got the Mira, of course, going to be slowing down on those breaches. Castle to do a little bit of that extension. Frost to slow them down, so you have to check every single doorway, every single window. Bandit on that breach, and a Rooney. The population slow down. That DMR to do some damage, put the work in. On the attacking side of it, we've seen the lineup before. We're going to see it again. They're not going to opt for the split push here, as they only brought one of the hard breach. It's going to be the double nade potential for that underneath. Love those underneath nade kills. A little bit of an idea that somebody's there as they take a couple of pre-fires on the catwalk, not able to come up with anything. Start making quick uses of those soft breach charges to get those castles. It's going to be Italian Mafia getting a little bit of damage. That first contest starts to ring out, able to preserve her life, live to die another day, or fight another day, or however it plays out.
Fighting top red.
Yep, Frost's going to live to take the kill on Kicks Up, as now Body Bounce does go back in favor of Drexel Esports. Got to get tied up. Zofia find a kill. LA to find one. Zofia to find another. And now, adjust yet again, we find ourselves in a 4v2 falling apart for this defense. Still winnable. Still got the long bomb of the DMR. Still got the Vector to ring out and sing. You know it's a face taker, and there's some back action as Zofia turns her back and pays for that.
She's lucky she didn't die. I can't believe actually that the Vector didn't grab her as a full kill there. Unfortunate, but some low health. Oh man.
There's a Vector kill to take Nest off the board, now putting us into a 3v2. Still got a minute left on the board. Still plenty of time for this suss out. And there it is. A little bit of a drone to reveal that he was sitting there in the corner. Takes a pre-fire onto Highway. Doesn't find anything. Still got to contend with this hot tub being open as well. Glad to have the Mira, but it is absolutely a terrifying situation. Holding the long angle towards Logi, but it is going to get evened up now as the Vector finds another dome piece, putting us into a 2v2. 40 seconds left on the board, and now it sits in the favor of the defense as KYM gets taken off the board at low health, and Drexel gonna come alive, even up that scoreline, put us to the 3-3. And we're gonna see the role swap.
Inhalement. What a great run there last round. Hold it together. That Mira play, inspiring indeed to see her put that one together to pull out a win. Definitely was not looking that way. Wow.
Yeah, great plays by Drexel to stay alive and even up that scoreline, taking us to a 3-3. It's anybody's game now.
Really,
Ooh.
what we got is a shorter game of Siege. We only got now. This is it. It's like we're starting over 0-0. Who's gonna take it?
Yep. Who indeed? Let's look at this defense. RIT bring a little bit of a different lineup than what we seen on map number 1. Gonna bring out the intel of the Echo. Love the Echo call here. And also the slow down cities. We've got both Fenrir, Goyo, and Malusi on the board. Gonna opt for both Solus and Fenrir as the two new opts to be out here being a menace. Like it. Okay, on the attacking side of it, Ging banned out on the first map. See some action this time. Fort Candela is going to be absolutely huge with no Warden on the board. Of course, going to see the Hatch Queen. 2 hard breaches, in fact. Make it 3 if we're talking can openers as well. They're going to make sure that they're getting that that verticality opened up. No really vertical players, though. I mean, I guess Ace does have those soft breaches, which do a lot to opening up that floor potentially in the hallway in the kitchen area. But no Buck, no Sledge, no Ram on the board. Interesting call, but then again, they're the players. I'm the caster.
Indeed, and we are sitting 3-3. They pulled off 3 in a row so far, or 3 rounds so far.
Just want to take a second here. It's the last 2 minutes going to ring out and just say thank you so much, everybody, for the subs, for the follows. If you did follow, get yourself some really dope custom emotes. It's September, so a bit of a discount there. It's 2 to fall for RIT as Drexel on the attack, getting aggressive, getting active, finding the 2 roams up top pretty quickly here. Got plenty of time to suss out where the last 2 are as another falls, as KYM falls as well. Putting us into a 1v5. It's now all on the shoulders of Ness. Oh,
that was RIT definitely taking a very roam heavy defense here, and unfortunate because the attacking team Drexel able to make close great work of this defensive team. Ying putting some pressure on, but he's still stuck in the back of Armory. Echo looking in a decent place here. He's like, no, I'm not waiting for you to come to me. Bring it on.
Bunch of damage as he does hit himself a little bit with that impact as well. Oh, yow.
That was fun, man. I love this game, man.
Me too. Me too. There's so much possibility for laughter, for tears. Drexel up 1 now on the back end of the half. Got to find the dub on this map to send us to a 3rd.
Yeah.
Or unless it'd be 2.
Yeah, RIT here holding a bit of an advantage for sure on map number 2 of this best of 3. So they were able to take a really aggressive pace there in terms of roaming, allowed themselves the opportunity to just be really aggressive, and Drexel responded to that really well by clearing out all those roamers, leaving Echo downstairs in the basement in the bomb site completely by himself, and he was going to have some fun with it to push, but unfortunately not enough to win the round. So RIT taking the first loss here on their defensive half.
Okay, so we head up to CCTV. This is not your standard setup. Fenrir on the board, Azami on the board, Bandit and Jaeger. Yes, we've seen all of them. Fenrir may be a little bit new for the clubhouse. I respect the call. Nest putting himself on the Lord himself, Tachanka, being brought out with those fires. Honestly, I love the freaking call. I love me some Chisel play. And CCTV, what a spot for it. That was cool. That was cool cam work. Right down into the drone. Perfecto. 30 seconds off the board as drone's going to start to do their work. Suss out where the heck these defenders are lying on the attacking side of it. Let's check it out. Got Sledge, who's already used both of his nades. No Iana on the board. We are going to opt for you putting themselves onto the Ying. A little bit of flank watch as Inhalement has put themselves on the Nomad. Standard your hard breach is the ace. We're going to opt for a Habana as well, though. So maybe potentially a bit of a split push. Except for no, because KYM going to take Habana off the board as the headshot rings and sings. Body bounce now tipped in favor of RIT.
Yeah, Ace was ready. They were trying to do a bit of bandit tricking there, but having the highway covered, Bandit was able to get the charges down. So Ace is forced back to drop Logi here, and they're gonna leave main breach closed. It looks like.
Interesting call. That's what you see here, right? Collegiate still trying to make it to that big stage in Copenhagen and Yana Peg. Still a little bit of switching up how the straps are going to be working. I like the call. Kicks up, getting active there on the highway windows, and they're going to open up a little bit of construction, get some of that, a little bit of support, a little bit of help, a little bit of teammates. Get themselves into chunk, holding long, ready to send those fires out. Still has all of them. Now starting to utilize that fires. The last 55 seconds is commencing. It's going to be dicey underneath. Going to try to catch somebody slipping on the hatch. And if he's successful, that'll be huge. That'll be absolutely huge. Now, unfortunately, as the push is mainly coming from this construction area, Tachanka really going to do a great job of being able to set the pace on where the heck this attacking team can even push from full white inside. Oh, no. flashed himself, unfortunately, and that's going to be Ducks taken off the board. Kim going to get traded out. It's going to be traded again onto... onto Italian Mafia as Ace is the next to fall. It is going to be Tachanka getting taken down as well. Now as we put ourselves into a 3v2. Bandit on low health. Going to take the swing. Going to lose that swing.
Oh, no.
It's a 2v1. It's all on the shoulders of Ying now, who's pushing into CC. 10 seconds left. It's going to be Crossfire City. Population Ying getting smacked from all directions. And the round going to end in favor of the defense. It's going to tie us up at 4-4.
Wow. A little bit of a crazy play there. Jumping in the window, I thought they knew that Zami was still holding rafters. Unfortunate looking into construction, but the Tachanka coming in there seemed like a great play.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk about it, one of the most important parts of being on the defense is you're the one that has to set the pace. You can't let the attacking team dictate where the push is going to eventually come from. You have to funnel it. You have to set yourself up to know exactly where the attacking team is coming from and when they're going to do it. And Tachanka, that was a real good play for that. Did end up losing his life, but, I mean, it was in the last 50 seconds. So that's, I say, job done well. Defense finding themselves one, tying up that score line. Boy, Whiskey, if ever there was a time for some OT potentiality, this is it. 4-4 here. Back and forth, a little bit of a war of attrition here.
This does seem like this is going to be the place. We're going to see it happen.
Let's see another new figure on the board. Hughes gonna say hello. With no Cade to stop that, definitely gonna see some action potentially from those Kims. Thank you, Shy Jackal. I've been trying different ones all night. Thank you for the clarification. Italian Mafia getting ripped off the board. P90 saying good night as Kims finds that kill. Hey, huh? Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of damage in return, but not enough, but she's going to be able to WASD her way out of there. Tons of intel being fed by the Solus at the moment. That's huge, too, getting the hard breach off the board. Of course, you still have Habana, the Hatch Queen, going to be opening those things up. Ducks put themselves onto the Jackal. Really try to suss out where the heck these other players who are roaming. There was a heavy roam game, so it makes sense to put somebody to find them out. And Jackal, not somebody we get to see play too often.
No, I mean, definitely banned out frequently in ranked. Not banned out nearly as often in competition play. And Jackal there, realizing that if he's got his ability active, Solus is going to be able to catch it. And they obviously know Solus is on the board right now.
Yeah. So here we are, last minute and a half of the game, or of the round. Of the game. Of the round. Well, that'd be an interesting finish. And it's going to be sitting in favor of the defense. Now, Pew's going to start getting active with those charges, try to suss out anybody that's heading down below. Could be a huge play there if he's able to get one at the base of those stairs. Going to opt for over by the chassis instead. Could come up huge here. They're not able to get the heck out of there. Wamai running around the corner, not going to take the damage from that one. However, we do still find ourselves in a 5v4. Wamai got some discs up, ready to save his life. Impact trick, successful. Got another one down.
No, I don't think it was. They got it open. Oh, that first impact trick looked beautiful, well timed, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah. So still sitting 5v4. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is about to get spicy as Nomad does fall now as well. Put us into a 5v3. Gillian able to find the hit there. 12 and 5 he's sitting. 24 seconds left on the board. It's going to be fun to fall. Oh, my Lord. Ducks to fall. And in rapid succession, the last three are taken off the board. And that's a flawless round for RIT. Now putting them back up in the scoreline.
Wow, flawless to finish that one off. Jeez.
Yowza. That's a big yowza.
Back and forth. All right, stringing together a couple of pairs here. RIT taking 2, Drexel taking 2, RIT taking the next 2. Sitting 5-4, 1 round away from match point. Drexel needs to hold them off again. RIT 1, map 1. So this is it in a best of 3. If RIT takes this, they take the series. Drexel needs to win this to force the 3rd map, which is Chalet. And I love Chalet, so I want to see it happen.
That's true. We are not biased towards any team. We want to see the best take on the best, and for that to happen, Drexel needs to win this so we can head to the decider. We want that 1v1 in that double overtime clutcher. Just makes the kind of siege that we absolutely love. How did you do that, bro? Did you hit those papers?
That goes a stray bullet. Let's go stray bullet.
Hacks. We're going to see the Maestro being brought onto the board here. Interesting. Okay, let's go. I like it. A little creative. I like the Maestro call here. Not going to opt for the Mira. Going to opt for the castle as well. I like the call.
Not a lot of push from the Jacuzzi side. Normally see a bit more of a push there, but no, in this case.
Negativo. Are going to see a little bit of a highway. It is going to be a bit of a split, as we're going to see CCTV going to get a little bit of action from the ace.
Hey, Whiskey, write it down that we need to increase the cost of a hydrate, because if we start doing shots at the rate that Promanthano is redeeming hydrates, it's going to be a rough night.
Check. Writing it down. All right, gonna get a little bit of the CC action open. Ace gonna be utilizing some of those Selma charges. Kicks up, ready to take that battle. Got a little bit of backup. My sitting on top of red.
I mean, it's definitely interesting that they're having to use that hard breach utility upstairs. You know, here on CC, and we were seeing, I think, that was Frost rotating back through basement, although now she's coming back up to the 2nd floor. Big push over here on the CC side.
It's going to be L85 to take Kim off the board. Kim's off the board. So now Dicey and Kim's gone. It's body bounce tipped in favor of Drexel here. They're trying to even it up on that 5-5. RIT one away from a match point. Drexel one away from tying it right back up. Nest holding the angles. Got the intel. Going to pay for his hubris. Those you gets into sight. Yeesh. Huge play as we now find ourselves in a 4v2 situation. RIT down and out for this last 48 seconds. Here we go. Wait for the swing. Unfortunately comes up short on that one as we now find ourselves in a 1v4 and a 1v3. Bandit finding one, but it is going to get traded out as the L85 going to claim his life. Drexel even it back up now, taking us to a 5-5. Both teams went away from a match point scenario.
Wow, tied up at 5-5. This is the kind of siege we want to see played, and definitely Drexel putting on a much different performance than we saw in the first map in Oregon, right? We saw them only take the first round, and then it was all RIT after that, 7 in a row. So this is a much different team, much different play. So maybe it was just the map, and now that we're on club, it's a map that Drexel's a fan of.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think you could be correct. 6 picks going to ring out on the defense. He's going to take the Ram off the board and opt for the Flores. We are going to see Tachanka being brought back onto the board for this CCTV cash hold.
It's the same. Nest was playing Tachanka the first time they played up here at CC, and he's bringing the shield like we used to see for Smoke. So kind of filling that role of area plant denial that Smoke used to feel, plus a deployable. Tachanka fills that spot real well, plus making rotates even faster than Smoke.
3 of the 5 golden defensive bringers on the board. Azame, Solus, and Fenrir. RIT really trying to push into that more contemporary style of siege for this clubhouse map. Little bits and pieces taken off both sides as a little bit of gunfire exchange rings out. Nobody with any serious damage. It's going to be Thermite over to try and open up that CC wall. And, well, no breached it out.
Yeah, Thatcher. Interesting. Let's go Thatcher Ace at the same time. Oh, I thought we were going to see a rush in. I thought we were going to saw a Whiskey Glitter special with a smoke play, but no, they held off. Played it a little bit more conservatively. Probably a good call because this is competition play.
That's true. That may work in ranked, but not going to work against somebody who's expecting that. And also, OSD bringing out the Brava here. I love that call. Lots of default cams, lots of Jaeger ADS devices to be taken. The DP, of course, still on the board to be taken out as well. It's going to be Ash to find a little bit of damage, but still able to preserve their life. Minute and 30 still left on the board. All members still alive, and it's going to be Thermite rushing in from the garage underneath.
Ooh, turning on the Fenrir right as Thermite looked to be pushing in, but he rotates out and heads toward pool table. Maybe just a bit of a distraction technique, though.
It seemed to work, right? Pushed him away from that. Folks, hold on to your hats. This is going to start trading out. L85 is going to ring out, but Kim's going to take another headshot and even up that body balance. It's Nest off the board. Inhalement off the board. Still sitting at 4-4. Still sitting at 4-3 now. Zay's going to be the next casualty.
No!
Oh,
peek it, no.
Peek. Tough. She is going to be down, but not out. As we do find a slew of trades. P90 going to find one and is going to get traded out as Ash finds one as well. So we put ourselves into a doesn't know she's down.
No.
Huge. Could be absolutely huge. Might know now that he hit that barbed wire with no swing. There we go. Going to finish off that kill as we now find ourselves into a 2v2. Thermite and Ash, the only ones left alive for Drexel, trying to put themselves onto a match point. They got to have it. They got to have the dub here to see themselves on a 2.
Oh.
There it is. Oh, man. Huge play as Drexel now is down to their last member alive. It's going to be Ducks.
Dicey grabbing 2.
Those ragdoll mechanics are just absolutely hilarious. Bonk.
Ouch.
Oh, man. Boy, what a match so far. We find ourselves on match point. RIT trying to put map number 2 away. A little bit more of a back and forth here than on map number 1. Drexel need to find this next round to send us into that OT.
Yeah, now the pressure is all on Drexel at this point. RIT made it. They're at match point. They won map 1. Back down to Church Arsenal to hold here so that way they can force the 3rd map. Otherwise, RIT is going to take this. And, I mean, by this, we mean the whole thing.
Yeah, match and series point here. Got another hydrate in the chat. I think that deserves a cheers. What you think, Mr. Whiskey?
I
Big
think
cheers?
so, indeed. Cheers. Okay.
Woo. Boy. 14-7. Jeez. Dillian having a huge round here on Clubhouse.
There's no, and just as an FYI, for those of you that are just joining us that haven't been a part of the channel, it's just the 2 of us. So production has got to set his controller down in order to be able to cheer. So
that's right. Mr. Whiskey Run, the production wizard, does the production, does the observation, the color commentary, those beautiful freak cams that you're watching balleting across your screen. That's right, baby. I'm just the pretty face on this one and happy to be part of that team. 6-5 RT trying to put this one away. Drexel trying to send it to OT, having a shot at map number 3. Down in that Church Arsenal hold. On the defense, let's talk about it. Slow down City in the form of Thorn, Aruni, and Smoke. Potential for a lot of late round action there. 2 projectile denies to stop the flashes from coming in. We've got 3 in the hands of Habana, 2 smokes, can openers, some soft breach. Lots of variety of util on the attacking team.
plus the 4 Candelas from Ying.
devastating, of course. Nobody wants to be blinded by the light. And there we go. We've got a ton of first floor control now.
Not shooting the default, unfortunate.
Yeah,
Drexel saying, "Don't worry about it. We got this." Oh, okay. Never mind. Now she got it.
Yeah, she heard you. She was like, "You know what? You're right. Whiskey Run. That's a good call. I'm gonna take that cam out."
Oh.
Nomad. Oh, jeez. Losing a bunch of life, but still able to preserve. Still able to fight again. Still able to pull the trigger. Should she get a chance to? Nest holding on dirt pretty heavy.
Yeah, way back there, but they've got it open.
OSD now goes down. I don't know if Hibana's going to be recoverable here. A's going to low health as well. That's a tough little health bar that we're seeing on the side of Drexel here. Both Ace and the Nomad just inches away from death. They are going to, of course, pick up Hibana, who, after getting picked up, gets more health than the two that have not been down yet. Fairly silly. You almost want to get downed instead of get in that low health scenario.
Oh, I thought we were gonna see the Ying drop, but no. Gonna flash her teammate, I think. Oh no.
Okay, Whiskey. 20 seconds left on the board. RIT trying to put this one away. 2 fall. Now body balance is tipped heavily in favor. They do find the swing. They do find the trade. 13 seconds left as we're in a 3-3 scenario. Ying down into sight, and we are getting the plant going down with Jackal. 7 seconds left. If they stop the plant, it's over. Oh, post-plant scenario.
Got it down.
Put into a 2v2. Low health versus full health here. It's both Ducks and you now just have to hold on. Jackal taking off the board. It's all on the shoulders of Ying as Rich trying to put this one away.
No!
Gonna do it! RIT coming up clutch here on map number 2. Finishing this one. And that, boy, oh my, yeah, what?
Bomb diffuser disabled by defenders.
Yowza. Jeez.
Oh my.
Man, what a freaking game. What a freaking ending. Jeez Louise. Well, folks, I mean, hey. RIT coming up huge here. Dynamic, dramatic performance on map number 1, taking Oregon 7-1, and then denying the overtime in the 7-5. That's 2 in favor of RIT, and that's all we need. It's it, Whiskey. Damn
wow.
it.
I know how you, I know. I'm feeling the same way. I can't believe it already. We're at that point. RIT taking to winning Oregon 7-1, and then here on Clubhouse 7-5, and it was so close there at the end. Drexel looked like they were going to be able to hold on, but that Church Arsenal hold just a little bit too much.
Yep. It's the Friday fight night, and it comes up RIT, baby, as they take 2. And the Whiskey Boys, first foray into the collegiate R6 scene, man, I think it was a raging success. It was everything that we hoped we'd see. It was potential for quick executes. We laughed, we cried. There was some upsets. There was some dramatic clutches, and of course, that beautiful whiskey that helps get us through the fun weekends that we've got planned R6-wise here.
Indeed.
I'm sad that it's over.
I know.
It's Friday night.
You know what the good news is? We're going to be casting for the Talent League in R6. You've heard that name. The guys that host the Titan series over in Europe. We're going to be on that channel tomorrow morning in less than 12 hours, bro.
Heyo. So I guess that's some more Siege. A little bit of EU, a little bit of NA. We've got a lot of fun stuff planned coming up here. Hey, check us out. If you liked any of the music that you're listening to, the beats, Mr. Suave, the official beat maker for the Siege Double Shot. Check him out. He's got an album. He can do any sort of music work for you. The acoustic fun jam band you were hearing in the background. That's my main project, Mary River. We're on all streaming platforms. Check us out. Have a blast. Find your boys, Mr. Whiskey Run and Mr. Whiskey Glitter on Twitter. We love to talk Siege. Give me your hot takes. Give me your cold takes. Let me see your clips. Just tag me in it. I want to see it. We'll argue with you back and forth, or we'll
Oh, he
agree
will
with you
too.
unanimously.
Yeah, no. Yeah, unlikely there. Thanks for the subs and follows. You guys are a great community. And now that part of the Collegiate, the CR6 community, really looking forward to bringing you some more of these games. It's just another great piece we're going to add.
Yep. We're everywhere. Check us out. If you loved it, like it, follow it, smash that like button, as they say. If you subscribe, get you those free custom emotes. We do got the Boogie Woogie coming your way soon. It's going to be amazing, so hold on to your hats here. Folks, that's it. Is it time, Mr. Whiskey?
Indeed.
Well, the music is playing closing time. The lights have started to dim. Folks, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Heyo!
Let's go.